Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bold Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that normally I would not bother covering in any of my videos, and that is an announcement of a smartphone. Ooh, an announcement of a smartphone. Who really gives a shit? Well, this one is fairly significant because of what was in the announcement. And of course, what I'm talking about is the recent announcement this past Wednesday, official announcement about the iPhone 7. iPhones hold very little interest for me, but this is significant for a specific reason. As you guys may or may not be aware, a while before the iPhone 7 was officially unveiled, there were a whole bunch of rumors floating around that the iPhone 7 would omit the classic and universal 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that's used in pretty much every pair of headphones that's out there. The billions and billions of pairs of headphones out there, all of a sudden, will not work without an adapter. Yes, it does come with an adapter. But that thing's easy to lose, and if you lose it, then it's $10 to replace it. That's going to piss a lot of people off. Of course, there's also there's another adapter that lets you charge and listen to music at the same time, and that thing's like $40. So, but anyway, I'm getting off track here. In many ways, Apple, of course, by doing this, is trying to make you know the standard headphone jack a thing of the past. Now, I've talked to a lot of people out there, and a lot of people I don't think are going to be bothered by this. A lot of people are like, well, I don't care if I can plug my smartphone into a pair of headphones or not. They literally just do not care in the least. And to be fair to those people, I would say 90% of the time when I'm listening to music on my smartphone, I'm also doing it through Bluetooth. I'm doing it usually it's synced to the Bluetooth in my car. I do have a pair of Bluetooth headphones that I use when I'm doing chores, or I'm going on hikes, or I'm doing a number of different activities to where audio fidelity is not very important. And I also have a Bluetooth adapter on my stereo upstairs for when I occasionally, want to use Bluetooth with that. So I'd say 90 to 95% of the time when I'm using audio on my smartphone, I don't care that it doesn't have Bluetooth capability on it. But there's that 5 to 10% of the time when I do care. One of the big ones for me is if I'm listening to my smartphone at work, okay, I'm not using Bluetooth with the thing. I am, I'm using a standard 3.5 millimeter jack, and I sure as hell don't want to, have to charge a pair of Bluetooth headphones all the time just to use with the thing wherever I go. I mean, if I am going to use my Bluetooth headphones with it, I tend to plan ahead, yada, 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 but I just have a pair of standard headphones in my desk at work. I can pull it out, put them on. And there's a lot of other little moments like that where 3.5 millimeter headphones just happen. Like, let's say you're on a trip, right? And you forgot your headphones at home, okay? Like, oh crap, I forgot my headphones. I'm going to pull into this Big Lots or Walgreens or whatever and listen, get a pair of headphones for like $10, right? Well, obviously there's not too many $10 Bluetooth pairs of headphones out there, or ones that have lightning connectors. I'll get into that whole thing here in a minute. So there are lots of moments where, to me, a 3.5 millimeter jack on a smartphone is essential. So for me, that is something that would cause me to not buy a smartphone, just like not having micro SD expandable storage would make me not buy a smartphone. It's just one of those things that would make a smartphone completely unattractive to me. And that's another thing that really is bugging me is some Android manufacturers are starting to follow suit. Hell, when there were just rumors of um, Apple not putting the headphone jack into the iPhone 7, I know Motorola produced some um, smartphones without the headphone jack. They have just USB-C on them, and they don't have micro SD card slots either. So, you know, if all of the Android manufacturers decide to follow suit after Apple, it could become really difficult to buy a smartphone with a headphone jack in it in the future. That to me is a much bigger problem than just, one smartphone not having it. It's if they're all like lemmings and sheeps and they're like, oh, Apple did it, we're gonna do it too. That to me is kind of a problem. I mean, I guess the only good thing about it is, at least with Android, it would be USB-C, which of course is a universal standard versus Apple's proprietary Lightning connector. But then of course you have battle of the connectors. That's an ugly thing that we don't want. I mean, 3.5 is universal. And honestly, I think it's way too soon for Apple to do this. Now, Apple has done this in the past. This is not exactly a new or recent thing for them to do. They were the first ones to drop floppy disks, I believe, back in 1998 with the original iMac G3. They were the the first computers unveiled after Steve Jobs went back to Apple. They were the large CRT models. They had the multicolored rear on the back of the computer, like purple, green, blue, whatever. They were multicolored, and they only had either CD or DVD in it. They didn't have floppy. But see, that really wasn't a big deal because by 1998, the writing for floppy disks was on the wall. By then, CDRs and CD rewritables were a thing. It's not like there wasn't a way forward, and software was really taking advantage of, most new software was coming on CDs instead of on floppies by that time. Plus, if you really wanted to have a floppy disk attached to that desktop that they made, it was pretty trivial to get a USB based floppy disk or some other sort of floppy disk, hooked up to it and working. So I don't think that was a hugely out of place move. I mean, floppy disks were on their way out anyway. And then they also were the first manufacturer to drop optical drives from laptops. Well, again, that is not that's not much of a. I don't think they were really too wrong to do that. I think that was fine because honestly, with laptops, I very seldom use optical drives. And, I do every now and then, like in one of my recent videos, I showed off how I was capturing CD audio in an analog way for a comparison with vinyl, but that is a really limited use case. Most of the time when I'm installing operating systems onto laptops, I'm doing it, via USB flash drive. And of course, all the other software that I install onto a laptop, I'm just downloading from the internet anyway. In movies, I pretty much never put a DVD into a laptop. So it's not exactly a huge loss on the laptop front. Plus, again, if you want to, you can always get an external optical drive for your laptop if you really need one. It's not difficult to do this. Hell, you can still get floppy drives to work with your laptop if you really want to. So that wasn't a big thing, but the headphone jack is a little bit different. I don't think the technology is. It's not like there's a large ecosystem of things of headphones that are out there that are something other than 3.5 millimeter. all of the headphones, everything from the cheap ass $5 earbuds that you get in Walgreens up to, of course, we're showing these off again, the more expensive. Now these aren't super expensive, 150 bucks, not cheap. $150 and up headphones use the 3.5 millimeter jack. So there's no existing infrastructure for this change yet. Now in the future, will there be? Sure. Yeah, I don't think it would be totally out of line if there was a huge infrastructure in this, already. Like if there were tons of USB-C or Lightning headphones on the market, if they want to drop the headphone jack at that point, that's fine. But there's not really this big infrastructure yet to support it. So do I think they're totally wrong for doing this? No, but I think they're certainly way, 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 way too soon to do it. There's I'm all about moving forward with technology and stuff, but of course I still use a lot of archaic technology. If you watched my last video, which of course was my desk tour upload, you can see that I use older stuff as well. But I'm all about moving forward with the future, and the older archaic stuff I only use sitting in this room at this desktop. Most of the time I'm a pretty super modern guy. I don't. It's not like I listen to vinyls anywhere else or cassette tapes anywhere else. So anyway, I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Would a lack of a headphone jack make you not buy a smartphone? Do you not care? Are you happy about this future? Whatever. Let me know either way in the comments below. If you did like what you see, as always, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks a whole lot for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.